real happy to say that I've got Jill Hennessy live in the studio here with us on 90.5 The Night. Hello and welcome to Brookdale Public Radio. It's nice to have you.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Thanks for taking time out of your day to be here. You know,
Are you kidding me?
We're not like that easy to find. So it's, first of all,
we jogged around,
So, well, welcome and congratulations on the new album that is in the stores now, Ghost in My Head. There's so much to talk about. So just sit back, relax. You got your guitar. We got music to play. You're going to be. Let's get everything out of the way first. You're at Borders later on tonight.
Yes, 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock tonight. So we'll try to let you out in time so you can go over there. But
I'm here as long as you want me, man. I'll bring you coffee if you want.
Great. Cream, no sugar would be great. Anyway,
excellent.
We're gonna. You'll be at Borders tonight, and you'll be signing copies of your new CD as well as playing live over there. So I think you're playing live over there, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
So that'll be happening. That's on Route 35 in Eatontown, right across the street from the Burger King. So anyway, good luck with that. So.
Thank you.
Let's start from the beginning. You were, this album's taken a long time to come out, but you've been doing music for quite some time, starting off in Canada. And one of the things that always amazes me, like I've sat and I've talked to so many musicians who've done this, that you started off busking for change, which is, which must be A, great training, and B, harder than to do, because the concentration level for people isn't exactly, they're not wrapped in what you're doing. So you can't let your feelings get hurt if somebody gives you 8 seconds of their time before moving on. So
exactly.
How did you first get into that?
Wow, I was walking down Yonge Street in Toronto, and there were, I think, 3 guys playing some Eagles songs, and you got to sing harmony when you hear the Eagles. Just take it easy. So I just jumped in. I think I paid them $1. And they said, "Hey, do you want to meet us tomorrow? You can do another set." And I did. And then I learned how to play a little guitar myself. I bought a Tracy Chapman songbook, a U2 songbook, Indigo Girls, and taught myself so I wouldn't have to rely on anybody else.
What was the first song you learned to play? Do you remember the first one that you sat there and said, "Okay," and then you said, "Wow, I got this"?
I think it was "Baby, Can I Hold You" by Tracy Chapman. Yeah.
Nice song too.
Oh, it's one of my favorites.
So it amazes me is that you taught yourself how to play guitar, and for when people go out and buy this album, I mean, you play all the guitar on this. I mean, you play a lot of you're really wailing on this stuff.
All the acoustic rhythm.
Yeah, you know how to do it, and it's like gives hope to people like me that have 10 thumbs. They keep on trying and
honestly, if I can do it, boy, I encourage anybody. I don't care what age, where you're from, man. It's the best thing I ever did for myself, and I never thought I'd be able to do it.
So when you're up in Canada, and first of all, Edmonton Oilers or Toronto Maple Leafs?
That's tough, man, because my sister lives in Toronto.
Yeah, see, and I know you lived in Toronto, but you were from Edmonton.
And I was born in Edmonton. My sister and I and our family moved when we were 3 months old.
Okay,
so I don't remember it too well. We moved every 2 years all across Canada. And I moved to Toronto when I was, 17, 18. So that's where the busking started.
For people who've never been up to Toronto, it's the cleanest city on the planet. It is the nicest place to hang. It is such a nice little town.
It's great, and there's a great music scene too. I'd be playing on Queen Street West, and a band called Blue Rodeo would be playing there.
Who we play a lot.
And God bless you guys, because it's so nice to hear that. And I would be trying to earn money so I could pay for a ticket to go in. And Indigo Girls would be up there, and I was there when Bare Naked Ladies were just coming up. So it was a really exciting time, to play on the street. So
what provoked you? Because Toronto's a beautiful city, like you said, with a really vibrant music scene. There's a great arts. I mean, the Canadian government takes care of their artists by, doing a better job than we do here. And so what provoked you to come, south into the lower 48 and hit up to New York City?
I'd always wanted to come to New York. Yeah. I've had a bizarre
Well, it's so nice they had to name it twice, so that was a problem.
Yeah, But I ended up getting this job. I was helping a friend who was auditioning for a play called The Buddy Holly Story that was casting in Canada. It was a co-Canadian-American production, and I was playing guitar for him. We ended up playing Brown Eyed Girl by Van Morrison. And the director asked me to come the next day and audition. He asked if I was an actor, and I said, well, yeah, I'm studying. And he said, oh, yeah, come by tomorrow and, do an audition. So I ended up coming back and playing a song that I had just written, funnily enough. And that's when I was 20, I guess. Yeah.
And you were on Broadway for a while then with the Buddy Holly.
I was with that show for 9 months, and we were in Toronto, San Francisco, then came here to New York. And somebody came to see the show and basically got me my my acting agent at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I ended up just still playing with a lot of musicians from that show, and that's when we started. Well, I started playing the New York subways, the 1 and the 9 line, Central Park, Washington Square Park,
and all the fun places in New York to play, especially
Yeah.
Washington Square at certain times of the night. With doing the on the subways between the 1 and 9, did you ever run into Patty Rothberg when you were there playing?
No, alas.
No,
No.
because she actually named her first album Between the 1 and 9 because she spent all of her time busking for change between the 1 and 9 when she was,
Are you serious?
going through New York City. So that's how she made her money. Was
Wow.
there, and that's her first album. So you learn something new every day by coming in. Now, were you like a really big fan of Buddy Holly? I mean, everybody who's into music has to appreciate Buddy Holly for what
exactly.
he did. But were you like a fan of Buddy Holly? Because there's a weird connection for you on several
Yeah.
levels with Buddy Holly, and I don't know if it was purposeful or just by chance.
No, totally by chance, And my dad had always, my dad's a huge music file, and our most, I guess, intimate moments together were always sitting on the kitchen floor listening to records, and he would always talk to me about Buddy Holly.
Mm-hmm.
He talked about everybody: Cat Stevens, Joni Mitchell, Neil Young, and he would always explain to me, because we loved that Don McLean song, American Pie, and as a child, he'd explain the lyrics to that. And just how profound that song really is. And that's how I first came to know Buddy Holly. And then I started listening to his music. And what a brilliant songwriter. He really changed. He created a real benchmark.
Yeah, he did.
I think, in
and
rock and roll.
he was the first artist to actually write and record and produce his own material. Mm-hmm. No one had ever done that before, and the record label gave him permission to do all of that. He had complete control of everything he did.
And kept the crickets too. He wouldn't let the label, take away his musicians.
No. And he also melded, basic country and rock together to form, with the basis of a lot of rock and roll, and gave the Beatles their name, more or less, because they wanted to come up with something like
the Crickets.
Yeah, they wanted to do something like the Crickets, so they chose the Beatles.
Wow.
So, and then after that, so you're in the Buddy Holly story, playing Maria, and then and I also want to know one thing too, just on a personal note. How do you learn 4 languages? I'm barely
Good
able
question,
to do
man.
English, and you can do 4 of them, and I'm trying to figure that one out.
I'm still working out the English, actually. That's true. In Canada, you learn French in school usually.
Yeah.
And but I had a friend from Quebec who was on exchange, so I learned a lot of French from her. She's Quebecoise. And then I'd always wanted to learn Spanish, and it turns out our French teacher had lived in Spain, and she got a Spanish class together. And I've always loved Spanish, and then I always wanted to learn Italian, and so I
you know all the Romance
an
languages.
Italian guy from the Bronx in Jersey. So that's how it happened, man.
Nice, because the Spanish part helped you get the Buddy Holly role.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I
you
was
were able to do that. But the weird connection that I'm alluding to is the fact that you lived for a while in an apartment building that Buddy Holly lived in. That I think most
Still
people
live there.
That people don't realize that Buddy Holly lived in New York. That he, they think of him as a West Texas kid who, he died at a very young age, but he ended up living in New York at the end of his life before that tragic event. And then to me, what the next logical step is for you to record this album. You went to Texas to record this album.
Yeah, well,
so,
there's a big
Canadian
Lubbock connection
Yeah.
here, man. I mean, one of our really good friends, a guy named Barry Tubb, basically has always been pushing me to write music, and he's from Lubbock, and also a fellow Buddy Holly fan. But I finally got in touch with him, and we told him that I started writing, and he said, "What kind of instrumentation do you need?" And he suggested these 3 brilliant musicians based in Austin. Brian Standifer on cello, Bucka Allen, who plays accordion, keyboards, and Robbie Gerso, who does all the lead guitar stuff on the album, who is, certifiable genius. In fact, they pretty much all are. So that's why we went to Austin. It was,
Had you been to Austin before?
Never.
Never before? Because that is like, for those that have never been to Austin, it is just an amazing music mecca where everywhere you go, there are amazing musicians just playing everywhere. Every day of the week, every hour of the day, you go into a bar, a club, whatever. And not that I go to bars all that often, but anyway, and you just run into people. I remember I saw the Subdudes playing in a bar one time, just like walking through the door in the middle of the afternoon. They're just there's the Subdudes playing for the heck of it. So you're in Austin, and you've got these amazing musicians. How long did it take you to put the album together?
Boy, because I was doing it on breaks, or what would you call it, what do you call that? Your hiatuses
Hiatus.
from the TV show I was
Yeah.
working on. I was working on a show called Crossing Jordan.
Which I find,
And,
by the way, the fact that you were working with a bunch of cold, lifeless bodies was perfect training to work in the music industry, because they're mostly, the people in the industry are cold and lifeless and a
Wow.
bit heartless. But so that gave you good training for that, I'm sure.
Well, so far it's been pretty warm, man.
Yeah. Okay,
It's
good.
been a lot of hot-blooded people I've been working with so far, man. To be honest, it's been the most rewarding and warm environment I think I've ever worked in.
Oh, cool.
And I was working with people like Ray Benson owned the studio we were recording in. It's called Bismo Studios.
Mm-hmm.
He's the head of Sleep at the Wheel.
Right.
And,
Which is an amazing band. People really need to find more of
Oh.
Asleep at the Wheel. And then
Brilliant
doesn't Robbie...
Texas swing.
Robbie's in on that, isn't he?
Yeah, well, Robbie plays with Joe Ely and the Flatlanders.
Yeah.
In fact, he's coming to New York soon. And boy, Standifer, works with Alejandro Escovedo.
Mm-hmm.
Buck Allen's still working with the Bodines. These guys are
They're top-notch
busy,
people.
so I was really
and you got
lucky
an old
that
friend of
the,
mine playing drums on your track, too,
Yes.
that I found was quite interesting when I found when I saw
my.
his name on the credits. I hadn't seen Rob in a while. So that
Rob
was
Affuso, yeah.
So that's nice that Rob's
Skid
on the
Row.
record. Yeah, he's an amazing player.
Yeah, he was my husband's roommate.
Yeah,
at
that's
NYU.
what I heard. Paolo and I were talking, so fun stuff. So listen, you've been hanging on to that guitar for a while. I would love to have you play something for us. What would you care to do first?
Boy, should I do? Let's see. I guess I could do 10,000 miles. I've had a request for 10,000 miles.
It seems like that would be a perfect choice.
I guess we'll try 10,000 miles. Okay. Floating, floating like the breeze in Santa Fe. Got a ringing in my head, and it goes to push me out of bed. I heard a girl call her lover on the phone. She longed to flee to Paris with her daughter far from home. Tell me, do I mean anything to you at all? Ma, don't laugh, you're all I want. Just don't leave me alone. I wanna run 10,000 miles along the highway. Run away, turn away, fly away. We'll blaze like angels through the night, burn our souls in holy light. Run away, turn away, fly away. The lipstick painted waitress counts the numbers in my head. She loves her baby's daughter, whose poem I just read. She shared her life with me, stories beautiful with misery. Her grandma being mom, 'cause her daughter had to leave. It's been 3 years since we've seen her. My life is no sad saga. Sometimes I don't even miss her. I wanna run 10,000 miles along the highway. Run away, turn away, fly away. We'll blaze like angels through the night, burn our souls in holy light. Run away, turn away, fly away. You'd see I'm beautiful if I could only shed this bitter skin. I'm hidden in the shadows on the outside looking in. I'd hold your crippled sorrow, rock it gently as I could. Let's shake the walls down to the ground and scream our pain like children. Oh. The pretty brown-eyed girl likes to play with my guitar. She laughs and dances for me at a ballerina bar. She holds me close, says she doesn't want to let me go. Her tiny head against me, I sing to her real low. I can see all the beauty that's inside you. Don't let them tell you all that you can't do. Your dancing is so beautiful. You're so beautiful. I wanna run 10,000 miles along the highway. Run away, turn away, fly away. We'll blaze like angels through the night, burn our souls in holy light. Run away, turn away, fly away.
Excellent.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you.
I need a whammy bar there at the end.
They don't come on those guitars, do they? But
No, unfortunately.
No, not. Anyhow, this is, for those of you tuning in, right about now, your timing's pretty darn good. This is Jill Hennessy live in the studio here at 90.5, the night Brookdale Public Radio, and you'll be at Borders later on tonight at 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
So I read that most of the songs on this album you wrote in the last few years.
Yeah.
But you've been writing, since the busking days of Toronto. So how much of a songbook do you have hidden away somewhere?
Not as big as I wish it was.
Yeah.
It really took, it was such an intimidating process to write. And it usually takes me some sort of bizarre crisis to really put pen to paper.
To spark it.
Because it's so easy to let your insecurities sort of overwhelm you when you start to write words on a page and you start to judge them immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it really took me living, accumulating life experience and going through a lot of stuff. And I really found that the writing was very therapeutic. It really helped me deal with a lot of stuff that otherwise would sort of keep me up at night, quite literally.
Do you revisit some of the early songs and pick and choose little lines going, oh, well, that's a cool line, I'll take that one away.
Yeah,
but
there were a couple things, yeah. There were a couple of those things made it on the album, although they sort of evolved and became different songs. But it was mainly really one thing that kicked it off, too. My sister reminded me of just a bizarre little story she told me about something that happened to her and I when we were 4 years old with our mom going to a library in Calgary, Alberta. And in hearing this story, I just thought, whoa, all this stuff was going on that we were unaware of because we were little kids.
Right.
And then being a parent myself, it really motivated me to sort of write down, I guess, what I pictured my mom going through at that time and why she made the decisions and choices that she made.
Is that the basis of the song, Oh Mother? Or
actually, that's the basis of Four Small Hands.
Okay.
Oh Mother's is interesting, too, because that's a lot of stuff going on in Oh Mother, man.
Well, the first time I heard it, I wanted to ask you, I didn't quite sure whether it was coming from your kid's point of view to you, your point of view thinking about what your kids are thinking, or your point of view talking to your mom, because it was like it could have been taken any which way, at least the first couple of times I heard it. So...
No, I'm so glad you felt all those things, man, because I'm also hoping people will project their own, feelings and story on whatever it is I write. That one, my mom's definitely all over that. There's a lot of me. There's also a lot of, if you find yourself seeing things or people you care about, you wish you could help, and
Sure.
you're sort of like praying to yourself, like, oh, Mother, please help that person, And that's literally, I found myself saying that one day, and I'm like, I just got to write this down.
So, see, inspiration comes in all places.
Do you know that stroke targets by color? Odds are, if you're African American, you're twice as likely to suffer a stroke as white Americans. Know where you stand, because beating the odds isn't about winning, it's about living. Join the power to end stroke at strokeassociation.org.
Ghost in my head. I wanted to ask you, Jill, what is the ghost in your head?
Oh, darling.
That could be anything.
I wouldn't want to
so-
subject you to that. Boy, yeah, I guess all the songs are sort of stories from either my past and present, things that sort of haunt me and literally keep me up at night, And
Well, it's nice to have an outlet and talent to pull it
Yeah.
off, because that works out pretty well. I remember I was talking to Ian Anderson one time from Jethro Tull, and he said that the first album is a whole lifetime's worth of material. The second album is 9 months later. Because that he had to do, and he was complaining about how fast the record label, when you guys don't have a label, so which is good because you're doing this all, this is the DIY aspect of doing it, which is cool because you're not listening to some corporate guy who, telling you that you need a hit single.
It's been,
and the thing is, you have hit singles on this. That's the thing. It sounds like you got stuff
God bless. Thank you,
that's
man.
really, like very, very cool sounding on the radio. But you are doing this DIY, but do you feel now that you want to do another album because you got these songs out of the way?
Definitely. I mean, we had so much fun doing this. My husband and I basically did this on the kitchen table, with our friend Anna, on computers. And, a friend of ours produced the music, Patrick McCarthy, who's worked with R.E.M.
How did you get in touch with Patrick? Because
he was best friends with our neighbor. We met him at a dinner party. Didn't know he was a producer. He was just this cool guy from Dublin.
And, most people from Dublin are. But
this is true.
Patrick worked with the Counting Crows, did R.E.M. for years.
He engineered Joshua Tree by U2, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
People have heard of that record.
It's fairly. And Madonna, sorry.
Yeah, he did a Madonna record too that made a Madonna.
I've heard her name before. I think I know her.
I've heard good things about her. I think that she might do something in the business. So got high hopes for her. So you've surrounded yourself with great talent. And again just is more proof that you deserve to have that talent around you, because these people wouldn't lend their names to your project if you couldn't pull it off. And the album is very, very cool and very, very, very deep. And people that go to Borders tonight are in for a huge treat, and people that are able to pick up the album online, or you go to Amazon or those kind of places. I'm sure it's available at all those types of locations, right?
Yeah, Amazon, iTunes, my website.
Yeah, why don't you give the address for the website so people can pick it up as well?
JillHennessy.com.
Okay.
And obviously we're on iTunes, Amazon, Borders. But JillHennessy.com is pretty exciting. You'll get a little background too about me and the lyrics and stuff. So and it's all very story-driven stuff. So it's the lyrics are kind of important.
Yeah, well, and by listening, I can tell that too. So, what you want to do another song?
Sure. I was thinking of doing, appropriately enough, "Thank You."
Sure.
And this is one of Barry's favorite songs, and actually, my mother-in-law's in this song as well, because I really need to thank her. And in fact, we shot all the photos for the album.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
In Long Branch at her house.
Nice little local flavor to it.
Yeah, dude. There's a lot of Jersey Shore, Long Branch flavor on this album, man. I even finished 2 of the songs here. In fact, I wrote "Thank You" on the shore.
See, we're influential. I love that about the Jersey Shore.
You guys are, man. It's fantastic. So, yeah, this is "Thank You," and I guess thank you to the Jersey Shore, because you guys inspired me, and this is where I wrote the song.
Cool.
You gave when you had nothing but nothing. There'd be no car in the driveway. You cared enough to see. You loaned a cup of sugar and acted like you believed us. And I want to thank you, thank you, thank you. Your daddy didn't like the way you put on your makeup, but you always told me how beautiful I was. He said that singing's for loser women, and you said you liked my song. And I want to thank you, thank you, thank you. There's too many people who've got no one to listen. Try to follow the rules and maybe someday get paid. Seems they've all had their joy chipped away by the people they trusted, and still manage to give their precious love away. They said that you can't love who you love. You told me you loved me. Your folks didn't want you no more. You took me in. They all pretended not to see you, and you touched my face. And I wanna thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I wanna thank you, thank you, thank you.
And I think it's us who should be thanking you for coming out with a great album and for taking time out of your day to come in here and hang and play live for us. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you
Thank you so much. Tonight at Borders, 7 o'clock over on Route 35 in Eatontown. Ghost in My Head is the new album from Jill Hennessy. They're your first full-length album, so congratulations on that. Looking forward to the second one. You know, you got time, though, you know, because this just came out. So we'll give you a little bit of time.
labels pushing us to deliver.
You got a little bit of time for that one. So enjoy the rest of your summer. Thank you so much for stopping off, and I look forward to playing this for a long time. Joel Hennessy here live on Brookdale Public Radio, 90.5 The Night.
I wasn't going to school because I was making money stealing cars. Well, I was 10 when I first got involved with drugs. I skipped school because, you know, nobody cared.
When I first got pregnant, school was not important to me, so I dropped out.
Well, if I don't finish school, then I can't go to college. I mean, that's the whole point of what I want to do with my life.
I still need to go to school to make it for myself.
I think I'm happier now. I know I'm happier now.
Want to save on your energy bill? Get the energy hogs out of your home. Find out how at energyhog.org and have fun while you're at it. Go to energyhog.org and get the energy hogs out of your home. Hey, wait for me!
We're on Brookdale Public Radio, 90.5 The Night. Once again, Jill, thank you so much for coming in and doing this. I really appreciate it. You'll be at Borders in about 4 hours.
In 4 hours,
In 4 hours, you'll be there signing autographs and playing live and all that good stuff. So have fun with that tonight and have a great rest of your summer. And hopefully we'll see you soon. You're always welcome to come in here. Maybe we'll drag you in here someday and have you play guest DJ.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
You'll have a hard time getting me out.
No, that's okay. Like you said, you could bring coffee. That's all you need.
Fantastic.
That's all
I'm
you
there.
need here.
I'm there.
Anyhow, this is Brookdale Public Radio, 90.5 The Night. We're back.